Hey, what's up guys, Frost King here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys this brand new deck right here that I made. It's basically Bird Spam 2.0, but it's got the skeleton barrel in it. It's got the guards, two recently buffed cards, and the deck just functions really well. It's also extremely fun to play. Like, it makes me smile when I play it. It's awesome. So I'm going to be showing you guys some replays, how I played the deck, and just basically how to go over it, and then also we're going to open up the 12-win chest. So we're going to start with, let me see, trying to find a good deck I remember this one right here. This is the P.E.K.K.A 3-spell deck with Eva's, so we're going to go over that replay first, how to go about it. So there's a lot of good opening plays with this deck. I don't have a problem cycling the Skeleton Barrel because it's such a strong card now because of the death damage. It basically has like the Ice Golem effect. So let's say they only have bats in cycle and they don't have their spells. You can get a lot of damage off the very beginning of the match. So that's a good opening play. Right here I go with the Skeleton Barrel and Poison. I don't really have a better play. I didn't want to play my bats into the Goblin Hut, so I decided to Poison and then play my bats and at least get a little bit of value on the Mega Minion. So that was my decision right there. He chooses the Zap, so I saw the Zap, so obviously I'm going to be pressuring opposite lane after I defend this miner because he overspent. So he goes in with the poison also. So I'm like, okay, he's pretty low on elixir. He spent the zap, he spent the miner, he spent the poison. So I'm going to pressure right here, especially knowing that he just zapped. I'm going to pressure with Skeleton Barrel. So he plays the P.E.K.K.A. He only gets one hit. We do get the Battle Ram connection. The Barbarians start swinging away on the tower. And then he hits a good log and manages to take out my Skeleton Barrel and my Barbarian. So he has a little bit of a counter push coming right here. So I'm going to play the Inferno Dragon. I don't care if he zaps it. I have my Ice Golem in hand. I'm going to block it with the bats. So right here, he also zaps that, which is fine because the P.E.K.K.A had already been taken down in HP enough. So I realized he zapped, he spent the E-Wiz, he spent all that elixir. I'm going to pressure with the Battle Ram. He's not going to have his P.E.K.K.A back in cycle or enough elixir for a Goblin Hut. So I get a good connection. He says good game. I also get value with my Inferno Dragon on the Mega Minion. So we're up in elixir and we took a tower. So it's a really good situation we're in right now. So what I'm going to be doing now is basically doing the same thing. I'm going to be using my Skeleton Barrel and my bats to bait out the zap so that I can use my Inferno Dragon effectively on defense. That's something that I really like about this deck is they have to spell your Skeleton Barrel a lot of the time. It's so lethal and it does so much damage. It's like a mobile skeleton army with death damage. So it's a really good card right now. And it's crazy how from the buff, like it went from like a clunky card that didn't have a lot of uses to like when it finally got that death damage, it's now an effective card. So right there, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm pressuring opposite lane with the bats, the Battle Ram, and the Skeleton Barrel. I'm trying to get him to use a spell on this. And even if he doesn't, he at least expended elixir and he used his E-Wiz, so it's up high and it's out of my face and I don't have to deal with it right now. So right here, it gets a little sketchy, but we do just poison. And then we play a Battle Ram to defend while the miner's tanking. He sends in another miner. I assume that one's going to be to the backside of the tower because he didn't want to draw aggro from the Barbarians. So I play the guards. His pre-log didn't really work out. So as you saw in that matchup, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure I bait their spells with the Skeleton Barrel. And then I can utilize my Inferno Dragon, my guards, and those cards on defense. So I can have a really effective defense and force them to overspend, hopefully, and then have a counter push. Because the cool thing is, if they use their spells on, let's say, my Inferno Dragon, like they zap it, the Inferno Dragon still survives, and then I also have a counter push with their zap out of hand. And a lot of times they'll have to poison. If they poison on defense, it's really good because then I can use my guards effectively. You'll see in these matchups that's something that I do. Right here, we're going to a replay against this guy named Shur. He's a Ukrainian player, but he's pretty good. He's 6,100 personal best with about 300,000 cards won. So I'm going to show you guys how I navigate this matchup. Very close match, but I do want to show you how I go about these giant 3-spells decks because he has Log, Poison, Zap, and Electro Wizard, which can be extremely difficult. He also has E-Wiz and Mega Minion, which can shut down a Battle Ram pretty easily. So I'm going to show you guys how I go about this. I'm going to run it at 2 times speed. So I'm pressuring opposite lane with the Skeleton Barrel, trying to bait out a log, trying to bait out something. I do bait out the log, I poison, I play Inferno Dragon, and then I play the Ice Golem. He chooses his zap, So that's in my mind. I know Inferno Dragon will clean this up, and Ewiz might get a hit, but at the very beginning of the match, I'm willing to play my guards. So right here we are down elixir, and he played that well. He got damage. We're gonna play our bats, but knowing that he just used his zap, we're gonna go in with the skeleton barrel and battle ram combination. And he plays it a little late. He misses the log, and we get a lot of damage. We're gonna kite this Night Witch across with the ice golem, make a positive trade. We're going to split our guards just for cycling purposes, and then once again, I see a giant push. I'm going to be pressuring opposite lane, trying to bait out a Zap or an Electro Wizard. I bait out the Electro Wizard, which is really good, because now I can pressure, or now I can force out his spell, and then also I can use my Inferno Dragon, and he'll only have the Zap. So like if he has the Electro Wizard, he's going to be able to kill it effectively, because he has... he can keep shooting the Inferno Dragon, but if he has the Zap, he's only going to be able to do one reset, which works for me. So right here again, I catch his Electro Wizard out of cycle, so it's okay to go in with the Ice Golem push, or the Battle Ram Bats push, and then Poison, because I know he only has the Night Witch. And right here you'll see he gets the tower down to 17 HP, and I BM him because he had a counter, and yeah, no other reason. He just had a counter and he lost, so I BM'd him. Right here, this is against a really good player, actually. He's running a Sparky deck, but it's relatively difficult because I have to use my guards on his Sparky, and then I have to use Zap on his support cards. And then the only thing I'm really left with is my bats, which can be pre-arrowed when he plays his Goblin Barrel. He has a tank, which is the giant that can stop, which can actually tank for the Goblin Barrel for a really long time. So this matchup is relatively difficult, actually, but he's a really good player. I've played him on ladder before. Yeah, he has 395,000 cards won, so he's definitely no scrub in GC. So I'm gonna show you guys how I go about this matchup. I play the first half well, and then the second half it kind of falls apart. I make some misplays. I kind of panic in some situations, but the first half I really want to focus on that and how I went about it, because I believe I played that well. So you'll most likely see me play guards instead of Ice Golem in this deck first, because Ice Golem plus Zap is a synergy I really want if they pressure me. Like let's say they just go Battle Ram Minion Horde off the bat. I've seen people do that, and if I don't have my Ice Golem and my Zap, I'm not going to be able to stop that without saving my poison for, let's say, if he had Collector. So I see him split the Skeleton Army, I play the guards, which is okay. Then I start the Battle Ram in the back. I just zapped this. I know the Mega Minion's behind the bridge, so it's not going to be tanking. I would not have zapped had that been the situation, and it actually would have been bad if that Mega Minion was across the bridge, because I didn't really have anything in hand. Right here, I'm going to eat a little bit of minion damage just so I can kite them across with the Ice Golem. And then you'll see right here, he has Zap and arrows in hand, but I'm going to pressure with the Skeleton Barrel right now. I see he plays a Sparky, so I assume he has a Giant Sparky. I played him on ladder, and he played the same deck, so I had known that. So right here, I poison, and I also have the Skeleton Barrel, but the Barbarians still survive, and that's something he has to respond to. That one Skeleton is getting tanked for by the Barbarians, and he spent so much elixir, he doesn't really have anything. So I play the guards, and then I play the bats. He rushes to arrow, but the bats do a good enough amount of work against the Goblin Barrel to take it out and not do too much damage to my tower. I'm also up in elixir. He drops the angry face. He's mad. Understandable. But right here, I'll start an Ice Golem in the back, I believe, or I'll go in with another Skeleton Barrel push. I believe I'll go in with a Skeleton Barrel push, but I'm not quite sure. So right here, I think I'll play Skeleton Barrel at the bridge, just trying to bait out Zap, or Skeleton Barrel in the back. I leaked a little bit, but it's all good. Right here, I'm forced to Zap, and once again, you'll see in a second this situation that I get in. So he zaps, so I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to play my Battle Ram, and then my Skeleton Barrel again. And then I'm going to poison, I believe. I pre-poison. But he does arrow that. And then we have some pressure coming in, which he manages to defend decently. I think I overcommitted right there. But I do get him to play his Minion Horde into my poison right there. So that works out. I cycle my Inferno Dragon, I zap. I shouldn't have zapped right there. But it doesn't really matter, because even if I had zap, I would have been in a bad situation right here. He pre-arrows, so he takes my tower on this push almost, and I'm just trying to hold on at this point because I know he only has Zap and Arrow, so I'm going to try and defend until the last second, but also I'm definitely going to make a point of keeping up the pressure right now. I get a Battle Ram connection right here, I believe, or at least Battle Ram damage, We do a lot of damage right here with the skeleton barrel. He arrows, I zap, but that last goblin just gets that one last stab, and we go into overtime. So you're gonna see this is a really close match, and because I just zapped right there, that goblin barrel, I go into his lane. That Sparky was really smart because I play a lot of elixir into him. I believe I cycle a battle ram in the back. I leaked. I was really like panicking, like I said. I didn't know what to do in this situation because I didn't want to play my guards up high because then he'd have like a giant Sparky, and I didn't have guards in hand on my king tower. Uh, right here, he does that, but the Sparky's dead, so we don't have that many problems. I leak a little bit more elixir. It was just a really weird situation, so we played that well. And right here I have a really bad hand, so I'm like, wow, I have to play a Battle Ram to defend, then I have to play Ice Golem, and then I have to zap the Minion Horde. Giant takes my tower down to 300 HP, so I'm in a really bad situation right now. I know I have to pressure, so I play a Skeleton Barrel over the middle. I play a Battle Ram, and then I play Guards right here. Luckily, I played the Guards a little bit higher, and they stopped that. So right here, I Poison, and then this is so close right here. He plays a Giant in the middle, and I play that Ice Golem because I know I need to get the Ice Golem death damage on tower. I zap, and the Ice Golem blows up, and I win the game off of it. So it was such a close match. Absolutely crazy, but we managed to take the W, and as you saw in single elixir, I was really trying to bait out that zap. I should have been trying, in retrospect, to bait out his arrows more because his arrows could be used on my bats. So I need to be keeping track of when he had those in cycle. I was mostly just keeping track of his zap, and if I knew when his arrows were in hand, I could have put myself in better situations defending his goblin barrels. So right here I'm going to go into my 12th win replay. I think this is important because a lot of giant princes going around right now, and you might want to note this guy's deck right here. He was a decent player, and his deck is pretty popular, so if you want to run that, go ahead. Obviously run my deck over it because, you know, my deck is Bridge Spam 2.0. Who doesn't want to run that? But yeah, here we are, and in the 12th win match, it took a long time to queue up, but yeah, we're just waiting for him to make a play right here. I see giants, so as always, I'm going to be pressuring with my skeleton barrel. Kind of panicked there for a second. I wanted to make sure I was making the right play. I like to think sometimes. I'm okay leaking like, you know, half an elixir if it means I'm making, you know, the correct play. I force him to poison, like I said. When I force him to poison on defense, that's really good because now I can use my guards on defense. So I protect myself from his prince. He lets this Inferno Dragon just melt away his giant with one swing on the tower, which I'm completely fine with. And then I have the Inferno Dragon counter pushing, which he's going to defend with bats. But because he defends with bats, I'm going to be able to get a Battle Ram Ice Golem pushed through. So you'll see he plays his guards. And then he also zaps right here, so I know he's going to have to zap, so I send in my Skeleton Barrel. I knew he had zap in the deck because giant decks never really have log if they have prince. Like old Goizen always had zap, so I was trying to bait out that zap right there. I forced him to play a giant to sponge for those skeletons, so that's really good because now he plays this giant into me. Right here, I see the Inferno Dragon, so I zap, and then I play the bats. I just played the zap to cycle so I could get to my Ice Golem. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hit the bats and the Inferno Dragon, so I did that zap. And we clean up this push pretty effectively. And he's up a little bit of elixir, but in my opinion, that's all good because we're up a bunch of tower damage. Knowing that he doesn't have his zap in hand, and now he does, I was sending in the Skeleton Barrel, trying to bait that out. But I know he's going to have to use the zap on the Skeleton Barrel, so I play the guards, and we get in a good situation right here. Right here I zap the Prince, but the Prince only gets one shot. I knew it wasn't going to charge, so that's why I did that. We're up in elixir right now, and we took the tower down. I put him in a rough situation, and going into double elixir, we should be pretty safe. So I'm just, once again, just keeping up the pressure and making sure I'm baiting out his zap. When I do that, or if I bait out his poison, I put myself in a really good situation on defense. So right here again, he's forced to poison. So like I said, now I have Inferno Dragon and guards that I can use, and I can clean up his push really easily. And as you saw, that push right there, it took half the tower, and I'm still up in elixir. So he did have the giant on the board, so I'd say he was up in elixir, but he hasn't pushed yet. So after this trade, I believe I end up in elixir. Because see, he zaps. He does get tower damage, but I play the Battle Ram. Good Battle Ram because that catches the Miner and it catches the Prince. So the Miner doesn't get any damage on the tower, and the Prince doesn't get any damage on the tower. Knowing there's only 17 seconds left, he's just going to be spamming. So I'm going to be playing the Skeleton Barrel, trying to bait out that zap once again, just so I can control the match. there's so many combinations and so many ways that I can bait out their zap and keep myself in a good situation on defense. You'll see right here, I take his tower down to 200 HP. I beat him at the end of the match, just excited for the 12 win. But that's how you play the deck, guys. You want to make sure you're just baiting out the zap. You're using your utility cards, whether it be your bats, your guards, or your skeleton barrel, or even your inferno dragon, so that you can play so you can get an effective defense and then an effective counter push. Because it doesn't matter if they zap on offense or if they zap on defense. It works out either way for me, because I can get an effective defense or I can create an effective offense. So that's the way that this deck works. And with this bridge spam, before bridge spam was mostly just like, if your opponent's low on elixir, you can punish them. But now it's like, with this deck, you're baiting certain counters, and then also if your opponent's low on elixir, you know what card combinations you can go with. So I'm going to check how long this video is. We're 15 minutes in. I'm going to go into the chest opening. Hopefully we get something good. I have 9 out of 10 Electro Wizards, so I'm hoping to get one of those, or a log. I'm 8 out of 10 on that. So let's hope to get that. So we're going to go into the chest opening right now. So we get 22,000 gold. We get some Ice Spirits. We get some Goblin Gang. We get a Giant, Flying Machine, Furnace, Hog Riders, that's good. I'm trying to level up my Hog Rider right now. Goblin Huts, 39 Musketeers. I really like the Musketeer, trying to get that up also. Heal, Skeleton Barrel, there we go. Zap, and I think we'll get Epics and a Legendary right here, so that's really good for us. So we got 11 Executioners, awesome. And hopefully we get a really good Legendary right now, guys. See what we get. We get the Electro Wizard, so we have a level 4 Electro Wizard, guys. That's really cool, really awesome. Perfect way to end the video. I'm going to screenshot that right there. And actually, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go and I'm going to upgrade my Electro Wizard right now for us. I have 141,000 gold, so I'm fine doing that. So here we go, Electro Wizard. Let's bump that guy up to level 4. Let's get the screenshot right there. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. We got 20 more Electro Wizards to go for max level. But either way, I need that XP to level myself up to level 13, trying to push high on ladder. Let me know in the comments if you want to see like a ladder pushing video. I may be doing that, considering I have, oh, never mind, I don't. I have max 3 Musketeers, but I also have good card levels with like my Minion Horde, my Hog Rider. So let me know if you want to see a video on that. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.